It's somewhere between 3 a.m. and dares big enough to throw boys off the roofs of buildings, and Jupiter spins mumbled words in my direction that sound an awful like, "You're a terrible soul sometimes." We're hunched spines, smashed between tile floor and phone calls we don't talk about anymore, echoes of fistfights in our voices, pretending we don't hold on to each other in the dark, and he starts praying through his teeth. It starts in the name of the Father, humming me to sleep a bass beat, asking me if I exist to remind him that love is this really scary concept that you can only hurt other people with. Whoa. And I start humming along in the name of the Father. I can't help but think maybe love is just muscle memory. A body next to a body, you just react how you learned the first time, the way you felt laying next to a pair of lungs, as if stars were birthdays and years were the silence experienced in the embrace of the person you currently miss the most. Jupiter starts making promises that he'll live too hard for either of us to exist separately tomorrow, so I swallow the concept of time, sink it to the bottom of a fish graveyard, hand made beneath the ribcage of my bedroom window, a basin of bad dreams, and hope to the clock makers of the universe he forgets that we agreed to name our first son Adam. But Jupiter's not always breathing, just spinning letters into words about the night we met, two souls heavy-eyed into each other's clavicles, right where the bone dips and lifts, our spines wrapped around the lost luggage counter, our suitcases fallen in love. There's a reason they pull your wisdom teeth out when you're too young to believe, trying to reverse what the apple taught Eve to see, mark each tumor with red tape. We rip scabs to be forgotten and forget, so we can wake up with bruises and not remember what we broke ourselves for. Floorboards never sounded so safe until Jupiter said, "Marry me, and I'll hold you in this place where all the rings, spaceships, and satellites spend their years making can be ours." We started making addiction strong as a verb reserved only for dragonflies. I said, "Love me, barefoot whale rider." And we navigated the seas of the ocean with a post office for battleships and bottled hearts, and Jupiter was born its mailman. Every letter handwritten in the waves asked for the same thing. A home built on more than two wide-eyed hearts singing names and darts. Our marriage vows echoed the starfish song of chance. A package of lies self-addressed and left on the front porch of dictionaries. Jupiter and I planted trees to keep the world alive. And somewhere between dragonflies and the pull of the morning tide, Jupiter and I ended up on the kitchen floor underneath the hole in the attic ceiling, and Jupiter is praying through his teeth. His chants click and drop as childlike hums, and he tells me, "I've only ever known addiction to people, and he's only ever loved change. And if he were to encapsulate me inside of a single word, I would sound a whole lot like